Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. James 4 verse 10. Title: The Power of Humility. Rise with the Lord. Embracing humility leads to spiritual elevation and divine blessing. In a world often focused on self-promotion and personal achievements, the concept of humility carries profound significance. James 4 verse 10 reminds us of the power of humility and its impact on our relationship with the Lord. By humbling ourselves, we not only invite God's presence and guidance, but also experience spiritual elevation and abundant blessings. Let's explore this message further by examining examples from both the Old and New Testaments. Examples from the Old Testament. Moses. Despite his exceptional leadership qualities, Moses remained humble before God. In Exodus 3-4, when God called him to deliver the Israelites from Egypt, Moses initially felt inadequate. However, by humbling himself and relying on God's strength, he became one of the greatest prophets and led his people to freedom. David. King David, known for his bravery and military victories, demonstrated humility before God. In Psalm 51, David humbly repented after his sins with Bathsheba and sought God's forgiveness. His humility allowed him to experience restoration and continue to be called a man after God's own heart. Examples from the New Testament. Jesus Christ. The ultimate example of humility is found in the life of Jesus. In Philippians 2 verses 5-8, it is mentioned that Jesus, being in the form of God, humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death. Through his selfless sacrifice, Jesus showed us the path to redemption and eternal life. The Apostle Paul, once a persecutor of Christians, humbled himself before God after encountering Jesus on the road to Damascus. His humility transformed him into one of the most influential figures in spreading the teachings of Christ. In 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, Paul acknowledges that God's power is made perfect in weakness, emphasizing the importance of humility. Implications. Practicing humility has several implications for our lives. A. Personal growth. Humility allows us to recognize our limitations and learn from others. It opens us up to personal growth, as we become more receptive to feedback, correction, and new perspectives. B. Harmonious relationships. Humility fosters healthy and harmonious relationships. By humbling ourselves, we can empathize with others, show kindness, and resolve conflicts peacefully. It promotes unity and mutual respect. C. Receiving God's grace. When we humble ourselves before God, acknowledging our dependence on Him, we invite His grace into our lives. God promises to exalt those who humble themselves, granting them His guidance, protection, and blessings. Conclusion and call to action. As we reflect on the transformative power of humility, let us strive to cultivate this virtue in our lives. May we learn from the examples of Moses, David, Jesus, and Paul, remembering that true greatness comes from humility. Let us share this message with others, encouraging them to embrace humility and experience the elevation that comes from walking with the Lord. If this message resonates with you, we invite you to share and subscribe to our channel, helping us spread the wisdom of humility and its divine rewards to a wider audience. Together, let us rise with the Lord through the power of humility.